Welcome to another episode of Spotlight, and today is going to be my movie reaction of Journey to Bethlehem. And yesterday I kept on making a lot of mistakes. Instead of saying Journey to Bethlehem, I kept on saying Journey to Jerusalem until it's not. So today I have a very special guest, Hollywood actor Geno Segers. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes.
Is it an Italian?
Well, actually, Geno is long for Gene.
Uh-huh.
My actual name is Gene, and so kids would just call me Geno. And yeah, Segers is just normal Segers.
Segers, yes. So hold that thought for a second before I get to the best part. He's gonna be dessert for this show. Let me talk about my movie reaction about this film, which was distributed by Sony Movies, and what else is there? A lot. It's directed by Adam Anders and the production companies Monarch Media, Affirm Films, and Space Art Entertainment, and the producers Adam Anders, Alan Powell, Steve Barnett, Brandon Anderson, Stephen Minen, Ryan Roos, and music, since this was a part musical. The entire thing was not musical, just part of it, which I thought that they did it beautifully. So the music was composed by Adam Anders, Nikki Anders, the wife of Adam Anders, and Pierre Astron. Oh, the name looks Swedish. So what did we think about this movie? Well, first of all, this movie is about the nativity, of when Mary gave birth to Jesus, and of course Joseph was there, and I just love the way they did it. Of course, they took a little creative license, and that's what I thought before the movie ended. I'm like, they took some creative license, but part of it was still true to scripture. And then even in the end, they even mentioned that we took liberties with the story. Yeah, but the message, the heart of it was still there, that Jesus, the Son of God, came here to save humanity. For those of you who don't know me, I had another Christian program here called Saved by Grace as well, with Dolores. And so I'm Jesus freak. So let's put back. What I loved about this movie is that it placed Christ back into Christmas, and that is the most important thing.
Absolutely, that's a huge thing, and it's a lot of Christians feel like that's been missing for a while now.
Yes.
So we were hopefully able to bring a bit of Christ back into the celebration, and as well as bring levity where we needed to, but also give you some room to enjoy it and laugh a little bit. I know a lot of Christians felt betrayed a little bit, because it was a bit of a. It took a lot of the stoicism away from the kings. They felt like the king should have been a lot more stoic. They felt like King Herod was too aloof. But it's entertainment. It's art. Art is subjective. It's always going to be subjective. And the respect I have for Adam is that he wasn't trying to make a movie to satisfy everyone, to satisfy anyone.
Yes.
He only wanted to satisfy himself. Right. So we make the art to satisfy ourselves.
Right.
Then invariably others are going to either appreciate it or not.
Yes.
And some people appreciate it, some people don't, but there's been some visceral reactions, and
Yes.
it's kind of polarizing in a lot of
Right,
circles.
right. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm very proud of the work that we did,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping that it will ring true every year for
Yes, absolutely.
a new audience.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it'll be one of those classics that people watch annually.
Yes, yes. And by the way, this movie got 94 fresh tomatoes. And you know that Rotten Tomatoes doesn't give those fresh tomatoes very often.
No.
I've known the string of movies recently that it was all a series of Rotten Tomatoes. One Rotten Tomato after the other. And this
Yeah.
one got 94, and also that other movie, Godzilla, but that's another episode. So, and by the way, the reason why Geno is here is because he has a vital role in this movie. He plays Balthazar, one of the three wise men, or the three kings. And you know, this really hits home to me, because when I was back in the Philippines, my mom used to take me, since we part Spanish, to Casino Espanol.
Oh.
And there were, you know, Spaniards dressed as the three kings. So,
Yeah, well, most other places in the world celebrate Three Kings Day.
Yes, yes.
And I didn't know that either, right?
Yeah.
I got to Spain and everyone was saying, "Oh, you're Balthazar." I was like,
Yeah.
what's
It's
the
a
big
big
deal?
deal.
It's a huge deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, you
in
know, most
Spain,
of us are waiting for Santa Claus. They're waiting for Balthazar.
for Balthazar.
Balthazar, Melchior, and
Yeah.
Gaspar.
And Gaspar, yeah.
Right. But everybody said that they love Balthazar because Balthazar brings gold.
Yes,
And
yes.
with the gold, you can buy the frankincense and myrrh.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That was, so what was it like, a little bit of intrigue, to work hand in hand with a man that was relentlessly pursued by Madonna stirring the pot? Antonio Banderas.
You know what, man? Antonio was an absolute joy. Absolute joy. I mean, when you're working with somebody at that level, you kind of worry if they're going to be generous with their craft in terms of allowing the co-actors to sort of do what we do. And we weren't sure that he was going to be okay with us touching him.
Right,
during the scene where the three wise men are singing.
Yes, I asked.
So Omid, who played Malchior, says we need to talk to him. We need to let him know. I was like, I don't know, man. I think he's gonna be fine.
Yes.
So when we finally got around to asking him, he was so gracious. He said, "Yes, do it.
Yeah.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun." You know, so very generous actor, kind of guy I could have a cigar with. You know.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
Cool. Very very committed.
Yes.
Like when you're on set with him, you kind of forget that, hey man, we're just acting. Yeah. You know, but he's very, very committed.
Oh, he really brought it.
God.
I was very, when I was seeing Antonio Banderas do his performance, I was really intimidated, but yeah, I was very convinced that he was King Herod.
Absolutely. You know, Herod had some issues, mental issues.
Oh, he was a psycho.
He had some real mental issues, and you literally you're watching him, and he's just like bringing this character to life, and his singing was just crazy.
It was amazing. And when Antonio Banderas sang, I remembered Evita, because he did Evita, the musical movie with Madonna. The two of them were there. He played the invisible Che Guevara in the movie, and then Madonna naturally played Evita. Yes. So I mean, when Antonio was singing alongside the actor who's from for King and Country.
Yes. Joel Smallbone.
Yes.
Really wonderful guy. Him and his wife both are just lovely.
Yes.
Great people. We met them at the screening in Los Angeles. Of course, I met them in Spain, but
Yes.
I hadn't seen them since Spain, and I saw them again, and it was like we hadn't missed a beat, you know. It was
Yes.
just they're just really good people, man. Great
Yeah, I
people.
mean, for
Yeah.
King and I mean, they're such powerful singers. When I listen to their song, I really get empowered and ministered to.
Yeah, no,
And
Joel
really,
is
really-
amazing. Joel is
Mhm.
amazing. Yeah.
Yep, and I loved him as the son of Herod. Oh,
Oh yeah,
wow.
he's
Stellar.
stellar performance.
Yeah,
Now, of
performance,
course, we
yeah.
took some liberty
Uh-huh.
by making Antipater the first Christian convert.
Right, yeah, and that's the part.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
the part,
it just
Yeah.
really brings
Yeah.
some heart to
Yes.
that role, and Joel played it beautifully.
He did.
He played it beautifully.
Yep,
Yeah.
and also let me go back to my cheat sheet. Just give me 1 second. So Milo Manheim played Joseph,
Yes,
and Fiona Palomo played Mary.
yes.
And I thought they had wonderful chemistry together.
Amazing chemistry.
Yeah.
Amazing chemistry. It's
Mhm.
undeniable. And then another part of the movie that really gets my emotions bubbling is when they sing that first duet at their betrothal ceremony.
Yes.
And man, the harmonies are just so layered, so beautifully. It's hard to deny that that's just going to be a song that people play in their car when they're playing in their home any time of year.
Yes.
And the music's not specifically Christmas,
Yes.
but the music is going to be played whether it's Christmas or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beautiful song, beautiful harmony, and they
Mhm.
both bring it on that track. So I'm really excited for both.
A
of them.
beautiful love song too.
Beautiful love song. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's see. Oh, my director is holding the peace sign, which means we're going on a short break, but we will be back for more of Geno Segers and Journey to Bethlehem. So don't go away.
The year is 2980, and we now know that death is not the end. A soul can be extracted from the recently deceased and be used to create a blue liquid called essence. It can bring a person back to life.
We'll get her back.
I hope so.
It's an expensive process used by the rich and powerful. The rest, they do what they can to survive.
Stay right there.
You told me you're hiding from some dangerous people.
Let's knock on the door. I spent the last year searching for the Deep Star. A bounty so big that the entire galaxy could be yours.
People have been looking for the Deep Star for years. It can't be found.
It's because they can't find the distress beacon. I know where it is.
If we find the Deep Star, we could get enough credits to bring Mom back.
Blast off.
Guys, we have company.
You can run, but you cannot hide. Prepare for impact. I am now authorized to take action.
And now you die.
No!
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
And welcome back to Spotlight, and I'm JC Crisologo. Some people here in the US can't even pronounce my last name, so they just call me Crazy Logo. Just kidding. Yeah, so I'm back with Geno Segers, and we're doing our feature for today is Journey to Bethlehem, and such a wonderful movie which I highly recommend to you guys, and most especially for those people who are looking for a good Christmas movie. This movie really puts Christ back into Christmas. You know, we love Santa Claus, we love Mariah Carey, and we hear her every single year. And there are other iterations of that song. I know one day I'm going to have my version of it, but Jesus is the reason for the season. And this is why I love this movie so much. And I'm so proud that Geno Segers was part of this. You know, when you mentioned, I think in your first interview here in social media shows, that you were doing Journey to Bethlehem.
Yes. Yes.
My mind was like, oh my gosh, this is like, yes.
Yeah, I was pretty excited.
Yeah, doing a movie about my Lord, King, and Savior.
But for me, it was a double excitement because I was going to get an opportunity to work with Adam Anders again.
Yes.
Because we had worked together for NBC on a show called Perfect Harmony.
I see.
And I really did enjoy working with him, and jumped at the opportunity to work with him again.
Mm-hmm. And I know that you're like such an awesome musician, singer, and you were Mufasa.
Yes.
In the live action version of The Lion King.
Yes. Many moons ago now. Mm-hmm. And it sort of really distorted my view of my own ability. Because I thought that I can't sing over like optional G every night of the week, that I just literally cut myself off at G.
Yes.
Whereas Adam was like, no, you can sing higher. I said, man, I can't do that. He said, no, you can sing higher. Adam, I can't sing that thing 8 shows a week. He says, Geno, I just need it once.
You did.
Exactly. I just need it once. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that because I got to do it 8 times a week, that there's no way I can do, anything above G 8 times a week. But I can do it once.
Yeah.
I can do it once. So we were able to get some really, really good notes and some really, really things that I never thought I could do in perfect harmony. I just never thought I could do.
Yes.
But he was able to get it out of me, so I was excited to work with him again.
So would you, I know that you're a bass, right? You have that bass.
Yes.
So would you consider yourself a baritone as well?
No. If anything, I would say bass baritone. Mm-hmm. I would say that if I were going to be doing live shows, like if I were going to be doing 8 shows a week for a musical, I would call myself a bass baritone, because that I can deliver every night 8 times a week, easy. But for me to be a baritone tenor, that's going to be tricky. And Mufasa technically is a baritone tenor.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
I was able to deliver it 98% of the time. The 2 shows out of 100, I'm like, I'm gonna have to drop this note. I'm gonna have to do an alternate. But yeah, it was. Yeah, baritone tenor is tricky for me.
Baritone.
In a live show.
Yes, yes.
But in a recorded, I get in that studio.
Yeah.
Oh man,
you can play.
Well, I can play with it. Man.
Yeah, you can play with it. Yeah.
I get 2 or 3, 5, 6, 10 takes.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So that works out.
There's a scene in the movie, like towards, I don't want to spoil it, but a scene where your character was singing, and I noticed that your voice went really high.
Yeah. It's
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second.
Full disclosure. I had to take a few days off, rest my voice, come back and work on that section only. I was literally able to work on that section only to really hit that high note, because
oh my God,
that high note was I said, man, this is impossible.
Because your fellow actors, like, we're all hitting those high notes, like both of them.
Yeah.
And then before you opened your mouth, I was expecting to hear a bass.
Yeah.
I was expecting to hear that, but I didn't hear a bass. I heard a tenor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Countertenor.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was really hard. Like, I did all my singing, and then I got to that part and couldn't finish it. Right. I just couldn't do it. And so he said, go away for a few days, rest your voice, come back, and we'll just work on that section alone. And that's what we did. Oddly enough, we got that section. Alex, being who he is, made me do all the other stuff again. After we got that section, because hey, we got the studio time, and you want to go back and look at some other stuff. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we went back and did it all again.
So you had the studio time, which means you recorded that song prior to the scene.
In the studio. Yeah.
And then, but during the take, did you have
to
sing
live?
I
mean, we working with Adam, he insists that you sing, because you can't fake.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't fake the expressions your body's going to make, the vein on your neck. Just the way your mouth moves, the minutia.
Yes.
All of that has to be done live. In order to show us the music is connecting to the lyric or the movement, the flap. And so I had to sing, but I wasn't singing in that pitch.
Right.
I was singing it, but I wasn't singing at that pitch.
Oh,
so I was literally the octave lower.
Oh, okay.
Might have been 2 octaves lower.
Oh, I see.
Because they had to do that regularly, and with lines and all that, it's pretty hard.
Tricks of the trade.
There you go.
I love it. So what was it like working alongside your fellow actors, the other 2 kings?
Oh,
man. I mean, that was amazing.
They secretly involved me in a method technique that I didn't realize I was a part of. So the moment we got there, they had coordinated us being together the entire time off camera.
Oh, I see.
So we were literally together all the time.
And it
off camera.
Right. Yeah.
I was mediating the arguments between him and the other guy. I was like, hey, come on, man, just calm down. So literally my character was the mediator in the movie between Gaspar and Melchior. So it was an interesting exercise in technique, using different techniques. It was literally a complete 2 feet jump in, and we just had so much fun, just cutting up every day at dinner, cutting up at breakfast, cutting up at lunch, going to the city, hanging out around the city, walking around and just exploring Almeria. And it was just a really good experience.
You guys filmed on location.
On location in Almeria, Spain.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, that's truly amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And you said it's close to Gibraltar?
Well, it's not close. It was about a 4-hour drive from Gibraltar.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well,
it's closer to Malaga, and we went to Alhambra.
Alhambra,
the castle.
yeah.
Beautiful castle. The Moors
Very
put it
arabesque.
together, man. They put it together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, they did.
And it was unbelievable. Yeah.
I loved it. You know, while I was watching the movie and the location shoot, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They really, really, you know, went outside of the USA, went somewhere to shoot this movie.
Yeah.
Because even the aerial shots.
Oh yeah.
Where I'm pretty sure they used a drone for
No,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the aerial shots.
The drone comes in over the sea.
Yeah.
That first scene, and where it captures Gaspar looking into the stars.
Yes.
I mean, we shot that thing into the evening, and so it looked like morning.
Yes.
But it was actually evening. We shot it into the evening, and it was just beautifully done.
It was beautiful.
And it was like a helicopter.
Yeah.
This drone was like a helicopter.
Right.
It was incredible, right?
And also that scene where Mary and Joseph were on the journey and they took an aerial shot of that cut open mountain.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of a little bit of the Passion of the Christ. Because there was a scene in that movie that was like a similar shot to that. I was like, and it really hit me, you know, because I know that this movie is about the birth of Jesus, but my mind went like flash forward to the day of his, you know, death, his horrifying death, and I was like, whoa, this is.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they made that connection, but you know, all the scenes.
They probably didn't, you know. Maybe it was just a mere coincidence,
right?
But it was. Just,
no, there's a lot of. Do you remember the spaghetti westerns?
Yes.
Well, all that where Bethlehem is, the scene Bethlehem. That's where a lot of the spaghetti westerns were shot.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, how does a spaghetti western set translate into, you know, first century? Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
You know, Palestine. I mean, it's like. How does that equate? But man, it looked just like it may have looked back at that time, you know.
Yeah,
it was
amazing.
It was really good. Really good.
Well, that's the magic of movies. You know, you can create that, you know, set. You know, remembering my time in Universal Studios, I used to go there a lot, almost every single day, just to see the movie sets. Oh, this is how it's done. There's like a facade, but there's really nothing behind it. There's nothing behind it. But anyhow, I would like to acknowledge the two actors that were with you, Rizwan. I don't know how to Rizwan Manji, and then Omid Jalili. Jalili.
Yes.
I mean, they're like two. Amazing.
Rizwan has comedic timing for days. I worked with him on Perfect Harmony as well.
Oh wow!
And one of the funniest scenes that my character got to play was with Rizwan.
Yes.
And like, I always knew he had those comedic chops, but he really has them on full display
in this movie.
And he's just really, he's a professional, man. You know. Yeah. And Omid is. Again, very well known in England.
Yes.
He's a very renowned comedian. He does a lot of stand-up. He did movies like The Mummy.
Yes.
He was in The Mummy.
Yes.
And Omid is a consummate pro, and he's just, trust me, the funniest bits didn't even make the edit. The funniest stuff that Omid was saying was never going to make the edit.
Oh my
gosh. But I mean, he was just ridiculously funny.
And I really love the chemistry of the three of you together. And any upcoming projects?
Well, currently, you know, we just got out of the strike, and so I'm proud and happy that we came out with what we came out with.
Yes.
So, but right now, this is always a slow part of the year. You know, November, December. Halfway through January, things will start to ramp up a little bit. So we're really gearing up for mid-January. I'm back in the gym. I'm on the track, trying to get, trying to stay in shape for that right audition, you know. But I'm constantly doing voiceover stuff for. I got a couple of Netflix projects that have come out.
That's amazing.
My Dad the Bounty Hunter is out on Netflix.
Yeah.
I play some multiple roles in that. Thelma the Unicorn will be coming out hopefully next year. And there's a few others that I can't mention right now, but
yes. I understand it.
Yeah, Netflix is real funny about you mentioning what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll be back to talk about those. When
yes,
things come
absolutely,
up.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you guys think that his face seems so familiar, you guys must have been watching Yellowstone as well, because he was in that. I remember my my ex-boss used to tell me Yellowstone this and Yellowstone that.
Yellowstone.
But anyhow, and that's unfortunately all the time that we have. Geno, it's been an absolute blessing and a pleasure to have you here.
The pleasure was mine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And see you guys next week for another episode of Spotlight. Bye. I love you all.
I've done about 50 EPKs, and I've never seen myself in anything ever. They've never used anything.
No, because you say things that are so
because there's no point. No, I've been so appropriate. I've even worn a tuxedo and tails and spoken the Queen's English, but they've never used me.
With my king-size brain, I understand that we cannot show up here empty-handed. Things are given to a king by other kings like us.